Listen to me right now. Stop scrolling and take one slow breath. I know exactly why you are here. That strange tightness in your chest is absolutely not random. And the way you woke up at 3 in the morning with your mind racing is not a sign of anxiety or panic. Do not let the world convince you that you are just stressed or losing your mind, because that is a lie. That is your spirit detecting a massive shift in your current timeline. You did not click this message by accident today. Your deep intuition dragged you here because heaven is desperately trying to hand you the decoder ring for everything you have been feeling lately. People are acting incredibly strange around you. Doors you thought were wide open are suddenly slamming shut in your face, and you feel entirely isolated from the rest of the world, while everyone else seems to be moving forward without any heavy burdens. I am here to tell you that you are not being punished. You have always felt fundamentally different from everyone around you. You look at the way normal people interact and it feels like watching a foreign movie without any subtitles. You try to play their little games. You try to care about the mundane things they care about. But doing so always leaves you feeling incredibly hollow and completely exhausted because your energy is not compatible with their dense vibrations. The truth is, you are carrying an angelic frequency inside a very dense and unforgiving world. Your physical body is constantly trying to process the heavy, emotional debris of the people you walk past every single day. They drain you without even touching you, and you just smile and pretend everything is perfectly fine. It is deeply exhausting being the one who always understands, but is never truly understood by anyone else in your entire life. People come to you with their deepest pain because your aura naturally radiates a pure, healing light. They eagerly take exactly what they need, and then they leave you completely empty. You have spent years wondering if something is fundamentally broken inside of you. Why does love always feel like an endless battlefield? Why does financial success always seem to require sacrificing your inner peace, while the most selfish people in the room seem to achieve it so effortlessly? The deep isolation you feel right now is absolutely not a curse. It is a strict quarantine designed by the universe to protect your sacred energy from those who just want to consume it. They called you too sensitive when you were growing up. They told you to toughen up and face the real world like everyone else. But their version of the real world is built entirely on deception and shallow desires that your spirit firmly rejects. Your soul remembers a much higher frequency from long before you arrived here. You remember a place where communication was pure and love was entirely unconditional. The severe friction you feel every single day is the violent clash between your angelic origin and this heavy earthly matrix. You are absolutely not meant to blend in with the background noise. You were sent to this exact place and time to disrupt the entire system just by existing in your authentic truth. But something tragic happened along the way. A crucial part of your divine connection was deliberately suppressed to keep you docile and confused. You have felt this suppression deep in your bones for decades. You know that you are capable of operating at a genius level, but it feels like walking through thick mud every single time you try to step into your power. Every time you try to manifest the reality you deserve, an invisible wall stops your momentum completely. You have tried meditation. You have tried the law of attraction. You have done the heavy shadow work until there were no shadows left to explore. Yet the ultimate breakthrough always seems to stay just one step out of your physical reach, and it makes you want to completely give up on everything you ever believed in. Before we go any deeper into this revelation, I want to hold something important in front of you. It was not discovered inside a church. It was not found in a spiritual community. It was discovered inside a highly secure research laboratory, and it won the highest scientific recognition available, while most chosen ones were kept entirely in the dark. It perfectly explains the massive gap between the person you know yourself to be and the version of you that seems available only in brief flashes. I will show you exactly what was found. But not yet. First, I need you to fully understand the magnitude of what was taken from you without your consent. The enemy has worked overtime to keep this truth completely hidden from your daily awareness. So I want you to hold this specific question in your mind right now. What if the gap between your current reality and your divine inheritance is not a character flaw at all? What if the heavy block holding you back has a specific scientific name? Stay with me until the very end, because the answer I am about to reveal will permanently alter how you walk through this life. You are not crazy. The physical exhaustion you feel is entirely real. It is not just in your head. When your chest tightens unexpectedly around certain people, that is your angelic radar working perfectly. Your body always knows the truth before your logical mind can process it. Stop ignoring your own internal alarms. Look back at the past few years of your life. You probably thought you were failing constantly. You thought you were making terrible choices because every single door seemed to lock from the inside. But you did nothing wrong. Heaven was deliberately slowing you down. It was a strict protection protocol. The intense loneliness you feel right now is absolutely not a punishment. I need you to hear that clearly. It is a divine isolation. God had to completely isolate you from the noisy crowd to protect your pure frequency. You are literally being quarantined from toxic earthly energy right now. You were always too kind for this heavy matrix. You forgave people who never even bothered to apologize to you. You poured your precious light into empty and broken vessels, and they selfishly took everything they could carry while leaving you to bleed out in the freezing cold. That vicious cycle ends today. Stop blaming yourself for being used by them. Your pure heart is absolutely not a weakness. It is actually your greatest spiritual superpower. Those toxic narcissists were magnetically drawn to you because they completely lack the divine light that you produce naturally. You were their ultimate power source. Heaven had to brutally remove those counterfeit connections from your timeline. It hurt deeply. It felt like a massive betrayal of your trust. But those specific people were never assigned to your ultimate destiny. They were simply rigorous tests to see if you would finally learn to guard your own sacred energy. Every single rejection you faced recently was actually a heavenly redirection. They rejected you because their dense frequency could not handle your bright angelic light. You were literally blinding them with your raw, authentic truth. They had to walk away because your vibration made their demons incredibly uncomfortable. Take a deep breath right here. Let that powerful truth settle into your physical body. You have successfully survived the hardest part of this spiritual crucible. The heavy lifting is finally over. You no longer have to carry the emotional baggage of people who refuse to heal themselves. Look closely at your life today. You are standing securely in the quiet aftermath of a massive storm. The silence in your reality right now is not empty at all. It is filled with a quiet authority that absolutely terrifies the people who used to manipulate your kindness. They can no longer reach you. You no longer have to beg anyone to be understood. You no longer have to shrink your glorious spirit to make small people feel comfortable in their endless mediocrity. Your energy now demands absolute respect from the room without you having to speak a single word. That is true mastery. The universe completely emptied your room so that something massive could be brought inside. You had to learn how to stand entirely alone before you could be trusted with the ultimate keys to the kingdom. If the wrong people were still in your life, they would instantly drain the blessing that is coming. Your isolation is actually a highly fortified fortress. The people who abandoned you thought they were leaving you to drown in the deep water. They did not realize that you actually own the ocean. Now they are watching your rise from a safe distance, completely bewildered by your quiet strength. Do not mourn the loss of environments that required you to be fake. The heavy friction you felt in those toxic rooms was your angelic nature rejecting a totally compromised reality. You were trying to plant beautiful flowers in poisoned soil. Now you have finally been uprooted and placed in fertile ground. Your spiritual guides watched you cry yourself to sleep so many nights. They saw every silent tear you shed when you felt completely forgotten by the universe, but they could not intervene until the painful separation was fully complete. The divine surgery was painful, but it successfully removed the spiritual cancer. You are absolutely ready for the next phase. The victim narrative has been completely burned away in the fire of your isolation. You are stepping into the undeniable role of a master of your own reality. But to fully claim this new timeline, you must understand exactly what happens inside your physical brain. The universe is actively conforming to your new vibration right now. Every tear you cried in secret was simply watering the seeds of your upcoming empire. You are an untouchable, angelic being, and the long season of begging for crumbs is permanently over. Listen closely to what comes next. You have successfully healed your deepest emotional wounds, and you have set powerful boundaries against the toxic people who constantly drained your sacred energy. But you probably still feel like a heavy anchor is dragging you down. Why is the divine magic still completely blocked from entering your life? Because the root of your daily struggle is not purely spiritual anymore. There is a deeply physical mechanism operating inside your head right now. The universe responds to certain people with absolute ease while ignoring others. This is not about having more faith or better discipline. It is not even about your past karma. It is actually about a specific biological frequency. Your spirit is willing, but your physical receiver has been completely jammed by the chaotic noise of the outside world. And you have been blaming your soul for a biological problem. Let me take you back to the very beginning when you were a small child. Remember how effortlessly bright ideas used to flow into your pure mind? Learning new things felt incredibly easy and completely natural. You somehow just knew things before they even happened in real life, because your intuition was absolutely flawless. The world felt like it was entirely on your side, and magic was totally real. That was absolutely not just childhood innocence. That effortless genius state was driven by a specific and powerful frequency. Scientists actually have a precise name for this hidden biological phenomenon. They call it the gamma brainwave. This is the exact frequency your brain was naturally running when your angelic intuition was operating at absolute peak capacity. You were literally wired to receive massive divine downloads constantly. The gamma state allowed you to connect the invisible dots that no one else could even see. It gave you that strange, empathetic power to read a room the second you walked inside. You did not have to try hard to be special, because your brain was already operating on a supreme angelic level. Then you grew up, and the modern world went to work on you. The rigid school system aggressively trained you to conform instead of create. The chronic stress of just trying to survive began to poison your daily routine, and those glowing screens flooded your delicate nervous system with overwhelming artificial noise while completely disrupting your natural peace. Your environment became a toxic prison. Every single year of your life, this sacred frequency was pushed deeper and deeper below the surface. The modern matrix violently forced your beautiful brain into a state of constant panic. They locked you inside a chaotic frequency called the beta wave. It is a frantic and fearful state that completely blocks your divine, angelic intuition from speaking to you clearly. When your gamma frequency fades into the background, your innate genius simply fades right along with it. The magical synchronicities you used to experience suddenly stop happening. The powerful sense that the universe is protecting you goes completely silent. And the version of you with lightning, intuition, and unshakable confidence vanishes into the dark without any warning. This physical suppression is exactly why manifesting your dreams feels so incredibly exhausting today. You are desperately trying to download massive spiritual blessings using a broken receiver. Your faith is perfectly intact, but your physical equipment has been severely compromised. You are fighting a massive spiritual battle with a suppressed biological weapon, and it is draining all of your daily energy. The people who profit heavily from your endless exhaustion do not want you to know this secret. They desperately need you stuck in that anxious survival mode forever. A chosen one who cannot access their gamma brainwave is a chosen one who cannot threaten the corrupt, earthly system. They deliberately engineered this modern world to keep your power dormant. Most people will live their entire lives without ever realizing this happened to them. They will accept the struggle and die quietly in the beta wave matrix. But you are absolutely not. Most people. The question I asked you to hold at the very beginning of this message is finally about to make perfect sense to you. Your breakthrough is very close. I asked you, what if the massive gap between your reality and your divine potential has a specific scientific name? Now you know that name is gamma. The suppression of your gamma frequency is the hidden reason your prayers always seem so horribly delayed. It fully explains why you watch selfish people succeed effortlessly while you struggle to move forward every single day. Think about the heavy brain fog that completely ruins your mornings. Think about the physical exhaustion that hits you when you try to focus on your ultimate life purpose. That is not laziness or a lack of motivation. That is the violent friction of a powerful angelic soul trapped inside a brain that has been forced into a low-vibration survival state. But what if this tragic suppression is fully reversible right now? What if your lost genius is simply waiting for the exact right key to turn it back on? I promised you an answer, and I will deliver it. I will tell you exactly what this is called and how to access it before this message ends. Do not look away now, because your restoration is already in motion. The entire earthly system was deliberately designed as a massive energy harvest. The heavy matrix operates entirely on the fear and exhaustion of pure souls because it cannot generate its own organic light. It has to steal it from beautiful, angelic beings like you. And they built a highly efficient network to extract your divine power every single day. Look closely at the people who caused you the most profound pain: the narcissists, the energy vampires, the friends and lovers who always left you feeling entirely depleted. They were not just random bad choices in your timeline. They were active agents of this dark matrix, and they were specifically drawn to your brilliant angelic frequency like a moth to a blinding flame. They knew exactly what they were doing when they found you. They saw a pure empath with endless compassion and zero rigid boundaries. They presented themselves as broken victims who desperately needed your healing touch, but they never actually wanted to be healed by your light. They just wanted to attach their parasitic cords to your soul and drain your energy dry. You gave them the absolute best parts of your spirit. You poured your golden light into their dark and bottomless pits. And what did they give you in return? They handed you their deep insecurities, and they infected your pure mind with their toxic drama while completely destroying your daily peace. They literally traded their heavy beta wave trauma for your high-frequency light. Do not dare to feel ashamed for loving them so deeply. Your massive capacity to love is the exact proof of your angelic origin. But you must realize that you were casting priceless pearls before absolute swine. They did not hate you for shining so brightly. They secretly hated themselves, and your pure existence constantly exposed the ugly shadows they were trying to hide. When you finally started setting boundaries, they reacted with absolute viciousness. They called you selfish. They launched terrible smear campaigns to ruin your pristine reputation because they desperately needed to control the narrative. They tried to isolate you from anyone who might actually see their true colors. This was the pure panic of a parasite losing its primary host. The Matrix uses these toxic people as energetic gatekeepers. Every time you were about to experience a massive spiritual breakthrough, one of them would suddenly appear to create total chaos. They would start an argument, They would demand your immediate attention. They were strictly programmed to drag you back down into survival mode before you could finally escape their trap. But their dark game is officially over. The universe allowed them to break your heart so that you would finally learn how to build walls of solid steel. You became the dangerous weapon you were trying to survive. Your painful past with these narcissists was actually a brutal military training camp for your delicate nervous system, and you passed the ultimate test beautifully. Look at them right now. Watch how they stumble and fail without your angelic light to guide them. They are currently wandering through life in total darkness because they permanently lost the best thing that ever happened to them. They try to find quick replacements for your energy. But nobody else carries your rare signature, and their new victims cannot sustain their hunger. Your complete silence is driving them absolutely crazy right now. They expected you to chase them and beg for closure. They wanted you to stay trapped in their endless cycle of toxic manipulation. But your silence after the storm hits entirely different when you realize you were the storm all along. You just cut the energetic cord and walked away like a true master of reality. You are no longer the fragile empath who begs to be understood by broken people. A healed person no longer tolerates utter confusion disguised as love. You no longer tolerate blatant disrespect disguised as brutal honesty. You have fully reclaimed your energetic sovereignty, and the heavy matrix is absolutely terrified of what you are about to do next in this timeline. The dark system thrives on keeping chosen ones distracted and entirely exhausted. If you are busy crying over a narcissist, you cannot focus on rebuilding your gamma brainwave. If your heart is broken, you cannot manifest the immense wealth that is waiting for you because your physical frequency is too low. They used emotional pain as a massive roadblock to stop your inheritance. But heaven has completely reversed their wicked spell. Every ounce of energy they stole from you is being violently ripped from their hands and returned to your heavenly account. The universe is busy preparing a massive table for you in the direct presence of your enemies, and they are going to watch you rise to an untouchable level while they remain entirely stuck. Your angelic frequency is no longer a free buffet for earthly parasites. You have closed the doors and locked the spiritual gates. But removing the toxic people was only the very first step of your powerful ascension. Now that the parasites are gone, you have to repair the deep physical damage they left behind in your beautiful mind. The grand restoration is about to begin. You have successfully cleared the toxic energy from your physical space, but the deep neurological damage they left behind still needs to be fully repaired. Your angelic spirit is willing to soar, but your heavy physical brain is still trapped inside that frantic survival mode. You cannot just think your way out of a biological prison. The elite forces who profit from your endless exhaustion do not want you to know this next part. They spend billions to keep you trapped in that anxious beta wave state. But a massive secret has finally leaked out of their secure facilities. A dedicated team of brilliant neuroscientists, working quietly away from the headlines, has found the ultimate key. They discovered exactly how to bring this dormant angelic brainwave back to life. And they did not do it through decades of impossible meditation that most busy people cannot sustain. They did not use massive biofeedback machines that cost thousands of dollars and require a clinical setting. They found something far simpler and much more elegant. They uncovered a specific and highly advanced sound frequency. This precise audio technology is engineered to gently guide your chaotic brainwave patterns back to the pure genius state you were born with. It completely overrides the stressful noise of the modern world. It directly targets the sleeping gamma frequency and commands it to wake up. This is not just some random spiritual theory. Researchers at Princeton University heavily studied this exact gamma brainwave. They discovered its direct link to the profound genius abilities that children naturally possess but adults tragically lose. They proved that this frequency is the actual physical address of your highest spiritual potential. And the discoveries did not stop there at all. Columbia University found something even more miraculous about this specific brainwave. They discovered that when your gamma signal is finally restored, it does not just stay inside your head, it actually radiates outward and positively influences the sensitive people closest to you. Your pure angelic frequency literally changes the molecular atmosphere of your entire home. When you activate this state, your deep healing automatically blesses your children and your true partner. It creates a massive shield of protective energy around your sacred space. The dark matrix cannot penetrate a home vibrating at the gamma level. The most beautiful part is how completely effortless this restoration truly is. It only takes 7 minutes of your day to reset the system. You just close your eyes and let the engineered frequency do what your brain was originally designed to receive. You do not have to chant or force yourself to focus. You just surrender to the healing wave. It begins working deep inside your nervous system the very first time you listen. I will tell you exactly what it is called and how to access it before this message ends. But first, there is something absolutely crucial you need to understand about why your massive breakthrough was delayed. You need to recognize the divine timing of this exact moment. The universe did not give you this physical key years ago because you were not ready. If you had unlocked your full gamma power while still surrounded by those toxic narcissists, they would have stolen all of it. They would have used your magnified angelic light to build their own dark empires. Heaven had to protect this immense power from them. You had to walk through that dark valley of isolation to build your boundaries. You had to learn how to aggressively protect your peace before you could be handed the ultimate weapon. Science is finally catching up to what your ancient soul already knew. The physical mechanism is simply catching up to your spiritual readiness. Your deep prayers have finally been heard by the highest courts of heaven, and the perfect answer has manifested in a way you probably did not expect. God often provides the exact physical tool we need right when we are finally mature enough to receive it. You have done the grueling inner work, and now you are being handed the final puzzle piece. Think about how differently your life will look when the heavy brain fog is gone forever. Imagine waking up with absolute clarity and knowing exactly what you need to do next without any hesitation. Complex problems that used to cause you severe panic will suddenly solve themselves with zero effort. That is the normal reality of a fully restored chosen one. The universe is perfectly aligning this physical technology with your spiritual destiny. Your biological receiver is currently being upgraded to catch the massive blessings hovering just above your head. You are no longer fighting the heavy matrix with a suppressed nervous system. You are stepping into a supreme state of effortless flow. Do not let the dark enemy convince you that this is just another coincidence. There are absolutely no coincidences in the life of an angelic being. You are standing right on the golden edge of your greatest timeline. Prepare your spirit to receive the exact name of this tool, because everything is about to shift permanently in your favor. Have you noticed the bizarre and magical things happening around you lately? You keep seeing repeating numbers absolutely everywhere you look right now. You glance at the clock, and it is exactly 1:11 or maybe 3:33. This is absolutely not a random glitch in the algorithm of your daily life, because the universe is actively screaming at you that your timeline is rapidly shifting. The heavy matrix is breaking down around your pure angelic frequency. Your physical eyes are finally catching up to your massive spiritual reality. You are manifesting tiny things with terrifying speed and incredible accuracy. You think about an old song and it immediately plays on the radio. You think about a random person and they text you 5 minutes later. These beautiful synchronicities are hard proof that your suppressed gamma brainwave is desperately trying to break through the heavy beta noise. And while you go about your day, it is fighting a massive battle to wake up and reclaim its rightful throne inside your beautiful mind. The magical flow state you lost in childhood is knocking loudly on your door. Your physical body is also going through a profound and completely undeniable transformation. You are waking up with the strange feeling that you just traveled across different dimensions in your sleep. Your dreams have become incredibly intense and deeply prophetic over the past few weeks. That is because your spirit is working overtime to process the massive upgrades coming your way, while your physical body rests quietly in the dark. You might even feel a sudden tingling in your crown or a strange ringing in your ears. Things you used to enjoy suddenly feel incredibly dense and totally unbearable to your spirit. You cannot stomach low-vibration conversations or petty drama anymore. Watching the daily news makes you feel physically sick and completely drained. This sudden repulsion is your angelic immune system kicking into absolute overdrive, violently rejecting anything that threatens your upcoming spiritual upgrade. You are shedding your old skin right now. The heavy earthly attachments are falling away like dead leaves in the autumn wind. Fake friends and toxic environments are literally dissolving from your life without you having to do anything at all. You do not even have to fight them anymore because your rising frequency naturally pushes them away. They simply cannot exist in the same atmospheric pressure as your glorious angelic light. The universe is violently shaking your tree to remove every single dead branch, and this massive clearing out process is making perfect room for your ultimate kingdom connection to arrive. Can you feel that massive electric shift in your spirit right this very second? The dry desert you walked through for years has suddenly burst into a beautiful oasis of divine favor. Every single closed door from your painful past is currently being blown completely off its hinges. The long and exhausting season of waiting is officially over. The intense preparation is finished. The universe is rolling out the red carpet for your glorious return to power, and heaven is actively rearranging the earthly pieces to serve your new timeline. But before we cross this magical threshold together, I must warn you about a fatal trap. Right before the brilliant sun rises, the darkness always makes one final desperate move to pull you back down. 99% of chosen ones fall for this clever illusion right at the finish line. The dark matrix will suddenly send a toxic counterfeit from your past to test your new boundaries. An old energy vampire will randomly reach out to you right when your true blessing finally arrives at the door. They will text you with a fake apology or a sudden crisis just to hook your empathy. Do not reply to them under any circumstances. That sudden message is the ultimate test of your spiritual sovereignty and your newly established boundaries. Ignore it completely and step right into your massive angelic power. You are standing on the golden edge of a profound generational wealth transfer. The heavy financial struggles that haunted your bloodline are about to be shattered permanently by your new angelic frequency. Your energy field is vibrating at a level that commands absolute respect from the entire cosmos. You are completely untouchable now. Your soul is fully prepared to receive the massive downloads and the endless wealth waiting for you. But to hold this immense power effortlessly, your physical brain must be correctly tuned. You need the specific physical key to lock this glorious reality into place permanently, because you cannot afford to delay this crucial alignment for even one more day. I promise to reveal the exact scientific tool that fully restores your gamma frequency. The long wait is finally over. The elite forces tried their hardest to keep this profound secret away from you, but they failed completely. Your angelic spirit has successfully guided you to the exact moment of your absolute liberation. Take one final deep breath. Listen very closely to what I am about to hand you. The question I asked you to hold at the beginning of this message is finally answered. What if the massive gap holding you back is not a character flaw? Here is the ultimate truth. A specific brainwave called the gamma wave was running freely inside your mind when you were a brilliant child, and it was the exact frequency of pure, effortless genius. Princeton University has deeply studied this exact biological frequency. Columbia University found that when this brainwave is beautifully restored, it automatically radiates outward. It positively influences the people you love, while violently repelling dark energy from your home. A brilliant team of neuroscientists spent years compressing the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation because they wanted to hand this immense power back to you. Dr. Robert Lake led this profound research in New York. But before I tell you what his dedicated team built, let me tell you about two specific people. A woman from California had desperately tried everything to heal her broken life. She tried meditation, and she constantly practiced the law of attraction, but nothing ever broke her heavy mental fog. Then she listened to this specific frequency for 2 weeks. She said something inside her completely cleared out. The blocked energetic channel simply opened wide without any struggle. Her struggling marriage instantly shifted into pure harmony. Her tired mind sharpened immediately, and she confidently described her new daily life as entirely enchanted for the very first time. A hard-working man from Texas started using this exact frequency to improve his failing business. 2 short months later, his wife joked that his intelligence had magically jumped 20 points. The hardest problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves while he rested quietly. He said his brain was finally running on pure angelic power, and that is the true magic of a restored mind. That is exactly what Dr. Lake and his brilliant team built for you. They call it the Genius Song. It is absolutely not a basic meditation app. It is a highly advanced 7-minute audio track using proven brain entrainment technology. It cleverly compresses 1 full hour of clinical protocol into something you can easily do at home, and you just put your headphones on and close your eyes. That is the entirety of what it requires from you. You do not chant or force yourself to focus. You simply let the engineered sound wave do exactly what your beautiful brain was designed to receive. It effortlessly guides you back into your supreme angelic state while you just relax and breathe. The heavy beta matrix is completely overridden by this song. The Genius Song is absolutely not for everyone. It is specifically for the chosen one who has already done the grueling inner work. It is for the rare soul who understands that their block is just a suppressed frequency. If your spirit strongly confirms this message is for you, the golden path is right below this video. You are finally ready to claim your divine inheritance. Private biofeedback sessions to restore this state cost hundreds of dollars per hour. An in-home clinical machine runs thousands of dollars. What the Genius Song delivers in 7 minutes is available to you today for a fraction of its true value. And 4 powerful bonuses come with it to deeply support your massive spiritual upgrade. You receive an audio designed specifically to help your children. You receive the original prosperity text that secret societies built their massive wealth upon. You also get a guided visualization and a powerful daily habits guide. These are incredible tools to sustain your new gamma state long after you take your headphones off. Here is the deeper truth about waiting right now. The immense blessing that heaven arranged for you does not arrive as new information. It arrives as a sudden and undeniable recognition. Something already placed in your path becomes fully visible when your gamma frequency is restored. The chosen one who restores their receiver today finally sees what was always waiting there. Waiting is absolutely not a neutral action. The divine arrangement is already in motion right now. Every day of suppression is another massive synchronicity that passes you by. You cannot afford to miss the wealth transfer that has your name firmly written on it. Darkness always sends cheap counterfeits when a chosen one is close to a major breakthrough. Do not look for this technology on YouTube or Spotify, because those tracks have absolutely zero brain entrainment technology encoded. They will only lower your pure vibration and distract your spirit from its true path. The only authentic version is available through the protected link that has been placed below. The universe requires absolutely no risk from you today. If you do not feel the massive shift you deserve, every penny is fully returned. That is an energetic exchange governed by complete divine trust. The golden link is waiting in the description and in the pinned comment below. The physical tool is never the final destination. The tool simply restores the broken receiver so the beautiful destination can be recognized when it arrives. Heaven does not require you to purchase anything to be loved or completely chosen. What was just described is simply one powerful way your angelic receiver is restored. Whether that specific path is for you or not, the absolute truth of this message belongs to you entirely. The channel is yours to open. Now let us return to the quiet authority that you have rightfully earned through your tears. Let us go much deeper into what is waiting for your soul. For the chosen one whose spirit confirmed the frequency tool I described earlier, the golden path remains wide open. You will find it waiting safely in the description below. That is the last time it will be mentioned today. What follows right now belongs entirely to your divine sealing. The closing of this message is for something much deeper. Look at how incredibly far you have come on this painful spiritual journey. The heavy, emotional burden of being constantly misunderstood has finally been lifted off your tired shoulders. And while the world tried to break your pure heart, you beautifully transformed into the untouchable master of your own reality instead. You are no longer that fragile empath. Your angelic frequency is now a blazing sword of pure divine light. Those who actively tried to keep you in the dark are currently watching your glorious rise with absolute terror. They simply cannot comprehend how you survived their cruel attacks. Because when they violently pushed you into deep isolation, they actually handed you the exact keys to the kingdom. But that dark and lonely isolation was simply the quiet cocoon where you grew your massive wings. You successfully emerged from all the pain as an absolute force of nature. And the massive generational wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your new timeline right now. Every single tear you cried in secret has been carefully counted by heaven. The loving universe is finally paying you back with massive compound interest. You are being heavily rewarded for every single time you chose pure love over bitter revenge. You are confidently stepping into a beautiful era of unprecedented divine favor, and your quiet authority is now your absolute greatest shield against the chaotic noise of the crumbling earthly matrix. You never have to lower your vibration for anyone ever again. Let them be incredibly uncomfortable around your massive, glowing light. You were completely designed to disrupt their low-frequency illusions just by existing quietly in your raw, authentic truth. The days of playing small to protect their fragile egos are permanently over. You are taking your rightful throne back today. Every single closed door is currently being blown off its rusty hinges. The exact people who arrogantly rejected you are now realizing the massive mistake they made. But they absolutely cannot cross the rigid boundaries you have successfully established. Your sacred energy field is completely locked from the inside, and only those with perfectly pure intentions will ever be granted access. Can you feel that intense energetic shift in your spirit right this very second? The dry and lonely desert you walked through for years has suddenly burst into a beautiful oasis of divine favor. You have successfully passed the hardest test of your entire earthly existence. The universe is loudly applauding your incredible resilience today. The pitch-black darkness has completely retreated behind you forever. The bright dawn of the new era is shining its warmest rays directly onto your spiritual crown. You must actively lock in this glorious frequency right now. You must physically create an absolute shield of protection around your newfound angelic energy. Do not let this powerful divine moment pass you by. To lock in this glorious frequency and create an absolute shield of protection, you need to follow my instructions. Type AMN down in the comments right now. Tap the like button as a physical act of agreement with what the divine just spoke directly to your tired soul. Seal this beautiful new reality right this very second. Declare your ultimate victory today. Tell the vast universe that you are finally ready to receive your massive blessing. By claiming this truth publicly, you are officially closing the heavy door on your painful past. You are establishing a permanent receiving station for endless divine wealth. The enemy wants you to leave without sealing this powerful energy, but you are far too wise for that obvious trap. If this fiery message has reignited the powerful faith inside you, do not keep this great blessing entirely to yourself. There is a rare soul out there bleeding in the dark of despair right now. They desperately need a guiding light to survive the cold night. Share this exact message with them today to multiply your own glorious harvest tomorrow. Sowing the vital seed of hope right now is the ultimate proof of your true angelic origin. When you help another chosen one wake up, heaven instantly upgrades your own spiritual security clearance. You officially become an active partner with the divine forces of absolute light. Your profound spiritual journey of ultimate mastery has only just begun. The entire universe is watching your every brilliant move with immense pride today. Walk away from this glowing screen with your head held incredibly high. You successfully survived the brutal storm because you were always the storm. You are deeply loved, and you are entirely protected. Go forward in absolute peace, my beautiful angelic being. You have finally arrived home,